let us be completely and compassionately honest with one another. At some point in the journey of life, you may wake up one morning, look in the mirror, and realize with a sudden and poignant clarity that something fundamental has shifted within you. It is a feeling that often transcends merely being tired. It is a quiet, deeply personal, and often unspoken recognition that the vibrant, luminous energy and the inner sparkle you once felt, the very essence that made you feel so completely and authentically like you, has begun to subtly and progressively fade. This particular realization is never an easy one, and it is a conversation that the vast majority of women do not feel comfortable having, even with their closest confidantes. But I want you to know, with every fiber of my being, that you are not alone in this experience. And far more importantly, this is absolutely not the end of your story. My name is DrLilyStones, and I am a board-certified physician with more than 3 decades of dedicated experience in the specialized field of women's health. Over the course of my long and fulfilling career, I have had the profound honor and privilege of helping thousands of women over the age of 60 to navigate this exact and pivotal turning point in their lives, guiding them as they rediscover the innate strength, the enduring vitality, and the unshakable confidence that they may have mistakenly thought they had lost forever. The profound truth of the matter is that the force that is quietly draining your inner glow is not just the simple number on your birthday cake. It is often something that runs much deeper, a complex interplay of physiological factors, the insidious effects of chronic, low-grade stress, the intricate and delicate dance of hormonal imbalance, and the pervasive undercurrent of low-grade inflammation are all quietly and systematically working against you. But here is the wonderfully and genuinely good news. The process of restoring your precious energy does not have to begin with a prescription pad. It can, in fact, start with one small, intentional, and deeply nourishing daily act. A single spoonful of a simple and completely natural blend, taken each and every morning. This specific approach is deeply rooted in credible and compelling scientific research, not in fleeting hype or unsubstantiated claims. And it has successfully and gently helped countless women to restore their internal balance and to reawaken their innate vitality, both naturally and with complete safety. If this message is already resonating with you on a deep and personal level, I kindly invite you to please take a moment to like this video, to share it with someone you care about, and to subscribe to our channel, Elderare Wellness. We are here to walk beside you every single step of the way on your journey back to yourself. Several years ago, a remarkable woman named Brenda came into my office for a consultation. She was 67 years old, exceptionally kind, deeply thoughtful, and profoundly introspective. As she settled into the chair across from me, she looked at me with a vulnerability that was both heartbreaking and courageous, and she quietly said, "Dr. Stones, I feel like I am disappearing." She was not clinically ill, and nothing specific or dramatic had gone wrong in her life, but she felt a pervasive and deeply unsettling sense of being disconnected from her own body, as if her essential life force had somehow slipped away from her, and with it, her very sense of self. Brenda was not searching for a miracle cure or a magic bullet. She just wanted, more than anything, to feel like herself again. I hear this sentiment expressed in my practice more often than you might possibly imagine. And what I told her on that day is the very same thing that I will now tell you. It is not too late. It is not even close to being too late. Your body, in its infinite and innate wisdom, remembers exactly how to feel well. It simply needs the right kind of support, given consistently, gently, and with the utmost care. The daily blend that I ultimately recommended for Brenda was not something that was pulled from a shelf of trendy and often overpriced supplements. It was a formula that was born from many years of my own direct clinical experience and is now strongly supported by a growing body of rigorous medical research. This potent and natural blend includes 3 primary and powerful ingredients: maca root, ginger, and ashwagandha. All of these are classified as adaptogenic plants, a remarkable category of botanicals that possess the unique ability to help your body to adapt to various forms of stress and to restore a state of natural and harmonious balance. And all three of these plants have been used safely and effectively for many centuries in traditional medicine systems around the world to specifically support women's health. Taken together in a synergistic combination, these three ingredients do far more than just provide a temporary or superficial lift in your energy levels. They work at a much deeper level to help rebuild the very foundation of your wellness from the inside out. The women with whom I have had the privilege of working on this protocol tell me that they sleep more deeply, that they think more clearly, and that they are beginning to feel genuinely present in their own lives again, in some cases for the very first time in many years. The change is often quiet and subtle at first, but it is deeply and profoundly real. And the emotional shift that accompanies this physical restoration is just as powerful. Because when you finally begin to feel well in your body, your spirit inevitably begins to rise too. Ingredient 1: Maca root for hormonal harmony. Let us begin with the first key and foundational ingredient in our blend, Maca root. This is a remarkable plant that is native to the high, windswept Andes mountains of Peru, and it is one that has rightfully become a trusted and invaluable ally in the support of hormonal balance. Especially in the years that follow the transition of menopause, I still vividly remember the day that I first introduced the concept of Maca to a patient of mine named Susan. She was 72 years old, had recently been widowed, and was bravely and tentatively beginning a brand new chapter in her life. "Dr. Stones," she confided in me, her voice filled with a poignant mix of hope and apprehension, "I have met someone. I care about him very much, but my body does not seem to want what my heart so deeply desires. I just feel shut down." That particular conversation was filled with an incredible amount of vulnerability and courage. Susan did not need a synthetic hormone shot. What she needed was a gentle and loving reminder of the vibrant and sensual woman she still was. And that is precisely what the remarkable adaptogen, Maca, provides. As an adaptogen, Maca is unique in that it does not actually contain any hormones itself. Instead, it works intelligently and harmoniously through your body's own intricate endocrine system, that complex and beautiful network of glands that control your hormones, to gently promote a state of balance, precisely where your body needs it the most. According to a significant body of research that has been published by the National Institutes of Health, Maca has been conclusively shown to provide support for a healthy libido, for a more stable mood, and for increased energy levels in post-menopausal women, all without directly affecting their circulating levels of estrogen or testosterone. This is a particularly important and beneficial aspect for those women who either cannot or choose not to take conventional hormone replacement therapy. By providing gentle and consistent support for your body's own natural rhythms, Maca can help to ease a variety of common and often distressing symptoms, such as persistent fatigue, unpredictable mood swings, and uncomfortable vaginal dryness. But perhaps most importantly of all, it helps to restore something that so often gets lost in the shuffle of life's many challenges: a genuine and authentic desire, not just for intimacy, but for life itself. A great many of my patients who begin to incorporate Maca into their daily routines tell me that they feel more awake. Not in a jittery, over-caffeinated sort of way, but in a deeply and profoundly emotionally present way. Their innate confidence begins to return. They find themselves laughing more freely and more often. Their partners frequently notice a positive difference in them, but far more importantly, they notice the difference in themselves. And that truly is what matters most. This is not about a futile attempt to feel 30 years old again. It is about the profound and beautiful process of reconnecting with the most vital and essential parts of yourself. The parts that were never truly gone, but were simply lying dormant, patiently waiting for the right signal to return. When you take your daily dose of Maca each morning, you are giving your body a gentle and loving nudge, a powerful and affirming reminder that it still knows, with an unwavering certainty, how to thrive. Ingredient 2: ginger for circulation and radiance. Of course, the intricate dance of our hormones is only one part of this complex story. In order for your skin to truly glow with health, and for your body to feel genuinely and sustainably energized, Your blood needs to be able to circulate freely and efficiently throughout your entire system. And for that essential task, we now turn our attention to the second powerful ingredient in our blended ginger. Years ago, I had the pleasure of meeting a wonderful woman named Jane. She was a 68-year-old retired teacher who had always been an active and highly engaged member of her community. But something within her had noticeably changed. "Dr. Stones," she explained to me, "my brain still feels sharp, but my body feels so incredibly dull. I ache all over. My skin looks gray. I just do not feel like myself." It is a feeling that a great many women share as they age, and very often, the root issue of this feeling of dullness lies in something that we rarely, if ever, consider: the state of our blood flow. As we age, our blood vessels can naturally become stiffer and our circulation can become less efficient and robust. This physiological shift can lead to a variety of unwanted symptoms, including joint discomfort, persistent fatigue, and a dull, lackluster appearance to the skin. Good circulation is absolutely essential, not just for the health of your heart, but for the health and vitality of every single organ and every single cell in your body. Ginger, a rhizome that is commonly found in your kitchen, is far, far more than just a flavorful and aromatic spice. According to esteemed institutions like the Mayo Clinic, as well as a multitude of peer-reviewed scientific studies, ginger contains powerful bioactive compounds, such as gingerol, that work to effectively reduce systemic inflammation and to actively promote healthy and efficient circulation. It essentially helps your blood to move more efficiently throughout your body, delivering a rich supply of oxygen and essential nutrients to your brain, to your skin, and to your muscles. The women I have guided through this process often describe a quiet and gradual transformation that takes place within them. They do not just report feeling more flexible and less achy in their joints. They also frequently notice that their skin begins to look brighter and their complexion appears more alive and more radiant. This is not the result of some new and expensive makeup. It is the visible and beautiful manifestation of their own body returning to a state of natural and harmonious balance. When Jane came back for her follow-up appointment just 3 weeks later, she was positively glowing. It was not a dramatic or an overnight change, but her eyes were noticeably brighter, and the skin on her face was softer and more luminous. "I feel like myself again," she said with a smile that reached her eyes. And that is the undeniable and profound power of restored circulation. Ingredient 3, Ashwagandha, for stress and emotional equilibrium. But there is still one more essential piece to this intricate puzzle of vitality, a hidden and often insidious force that quietly drains your life force, even when everything else in your life seems to be going right. That powerful and pervasive force is, of course, stress. And our final and crucial ingredient is specifically and intentionally chosen to help you to take your power back from it. Let us now talk about something that we do not often name out loud with the clarity and honesty it deserves: stress. I am not referring to the kind of acute stress that you can shake off after a long walk or that you can vent about with a good friend. I am talking about the deep, quiet, and chronic stress that slowly and methodically settles into your bones over the course of many decades. It is the accumulated weight of years spent caregiving for loved ones, of holding families together through thick and thin, of managing demanding careers, or of silently and stoically carrying the heavy emotional load that others around you never even saw. It builds up so slowly, so insidiously, that over time, it can leave you feeling completely and utterly disconnected from your own body, perpetually exhausted, and deeply uncertain about how to ever find your way back to yourself. One woman with whom I worked, a wonderful lady named Mary, was 74 years old and still as sharp and as witty as ever. But when she sat across from me in the quiet space of the exam room, her eyes told a very different story. "Dr. Stones," she whispered, her voice barely audible, "I have not felt truly rested in years. I am so tired, and it is not just the kind of tired that a good night's sleep can fix." She was not sleeping well. Her nerves felt constantly frayed and on edge, and the experience of joy, even the smallest and simplest of joys, had become a rare and fleeting occurrence in her life. What Mary was experiencing was something that I see in my practice with heartbreaking regularity. Her nervous system was completely stuck in a state of overdrive. Her body had, over the course of many years, simply forgotten how to exhale. That is when I introduced her to Ashwagandha, a powerful root that has been used in the ancient and revered traditions of Ayurvedic medicine for many centuries and is now being robustly supported by a wealth of modern clinical research right here in the United States. Ashwagandha is classified as an adaptogen, which means that it intelligently helps your body to regulate its response to stress and to recover more effectively from its effects. But more specifically, it works by helping to reduce the circulating levels of cortisol, which is your body's primary and most potent stress hormone. According to numerous clinical trials that have been published by the National Library of Medicine, ashwagandha has been conclusively shown to improve the quality of sleep, to reduce feelings of anxiety, and even to support a healthier distribution of body weight, especially around the midsection, which is where cortisol tends to store fat in women after menopause. When Mary returned to my office just 2 short weeks later, something had tangibly and profoundly shifted within her. Her shoulders were more relaxed and were no longer held up by her ears. Her voice was softer and had a more melodic quality to it. DrLilyStones, she said to me with a smile of genuine surprise. I did not even realize how incredibly tense I had become. I feel like I can finally and truly breathe again. That is the real and transformative power of ashwagandha. It does not stimulate you in the way that caffeine does, nor does it sedate you like a sleeping aid. Instead, it works to gently and intelligently balance your entire system, carefully and compassionately bringing your body back to a place where it can rest, where it can repair, and where it can heal itself naturally. With cortisol no longer driving your biology, your sleep becomes deeper and more restorative, your moods become more stable and even keeled, and your energy becomes more reliable and consistent. And when your body is no longer burning itself out, just trying to get through the day, that beautiful and radiant inner glow finally has the space it needs to return. The daily blend, the ritual, and the why. So, now we have all 3 of the essential and powerful elements of our rejuvenating blend. We have Maca to gently and intelligently awaken your hormonal rhythm. We have ginger to open up your circulation and to reduce systemic inflammation. And we have ashwagandha to lower your stress levels and to restore your emotional equilibrium. The profound beauty of these 3 ingredients lies not just in what they do individually, but in the magnificent and synergistic way that they work together. I want you to think of them as a perfectly harmonious trio, with each one providing foundational and unwavering support to a different and vital part of your core foundation: your hormones, your blood flow, and your nervous system health. When all 3 of these fundamental systems are being deeply and consistently nourished, the end result is a genuine and lasting transformation. Not a quick and fleeting fix, but a steady, sustainable, and beautiful return to a state of natural balance. So, how exactly do you bring them together into your daily life? The wonderfully good news is that it is incredibly simple. In fact, a great many women have told me that this small ritual quickly becomes one of their absolute favorite parts of their morning. A quiet and sacred act of self-care that serves to center and to restore them before their day has even truly begun. Let us walk through the precise steps of how to make it. You will want to start with 3 key ingredients, all in their powdered form to ensure maximum absorption and ease of use: 1 tablespoon of maca powder, 1 tablespoon of ginger powder, and 1 tablespoon of ashwagandha powder. You should carefully and thoroughly mix these 3 powders together in a clean, dry bowl until the resulting blend is even in its color and its texture. Then, you can store this precious mixture in an airtight glass jar in your refrigerator. This will help to keep it fresh and to maintain its potency over time. Each and every morning, you will take 1 heaping teaspoon, not a tablespoon, of this potent and nourishing blend. You can simply stir it into a small glass of warm water, which actually helps to enhance its absorption, or you can mix it with some fresh lemon water to add a bit of brightness and an extra dose of vitamin C. Some women find that they prefer to mix it with a bit of almond milk or even into some plain yogurt for a smoother and creamier taste. You do not need to make it fancy, you just need to be consistent. What about the flavor? Well, it is admittedly quite earthy. Some women find that they love it right away. Others take a few days to become accustomed to it. But here is the profound truth: this is not about the taste. It is about what this simple act represents. One single spoonful, taken every single morning, is so much more than just a health habit. It is a daily and loving message to yourself that says, I am still here. I am still worthy of care. You have spent decades of your life tirelessly caring for others, raising your children, supporting your families, helping your friends, and showing up in ways both large and small. This simple morning blend is a beautiful and powerful way for you to finally start showing up for you. Because here is what I have learned over my many years of practice. True and lasting healing happens when our care for ourselves becomes consistent. Not dramatic, not complicated, but just beautifully and powerfully steady. In the very same way that a plant naturally and instinctively turns itself toward the sun, little by little, your own body will begin to respond. You are not forcing it. You are simply and lovingly reminding it of its own innate capacity for wellness. Please give it time. Stay with it. Your body knows exactly what to do. It has just been patiently waiting for you to provide it with the right tools. The timeline of transformation, a gradual awakening. So, what happens next? What can you realistically and genuinely expect to experience in the days and the weeks after you begin this new practice? Let us talk about what this beautiful and quiet transformation actually looks like, week by week. One of the most common and understandable questions I hear from women when they first begin this daily and sacred ritual is, how long will it be before I actually feel something? It is a perfectly fair and valid question. We live in a world that so often promises us instant and miraculous results, but true and authentic healing does not come in a brilliant flash of light. It arrives much more like a gentle and beautiful sunrise, quiet, gradual, and deeply and profoundly reassuring. In that first week of your new practice, the changes that you experience are often quite subtle. You may not feel a sudden and dramatic jolt of energy or undergo an overnight transformation. Instead, what you might begin to notice is a subtle but significant shift in your mornings. That heavy, sluggish, and often oppressive feeling that may have been weighing you down for months or even for years may begin to lift, just a little bit at first. Your sleep might start to deepen and become more restorative, and you may find that you wake up feeling slightly more rested and refreshed than you have in a long time. The persistent mental fog that once may have clouded your thoughts may begin to clear at its edges. These early and gentle changes are often quiet, but they matter immensely. They are the very first and most precious signs that your body is listening, that it is beginning to recognize and to gratefully respond to the deep and consistent nourishment that you are finally giving it. By week 2, the changes often begin to reach into and to influence your day-to-day energy levels in a more noticeable way. You might observe that your digestion feels calmer and more settled. Your joints may feel less stiff and achy when you first wake up in the morning. And for some women, something even more profound and powerful begins to happen. A gentle and welcome flicker of desire returns. This is not necessarily about a desire for intimacy alone. It is about a renewed and revitalized feeling of being interested in life again. You may feel interested in walking to the local market, in reading a good book, in truly laughing at a heartfelt conversation, or in reconnecting with someone that you deeply care about. Your skin might also begin to look a little bit brighter, and your eyes may appear a little bit clearer. These are not mere coincidences, they are clear and tangible signals. Your circulation, your hormonal rhythms, and your nervous system, all three of these foundational pillars of your health, are starting to work in a state of beautiful and harmonious synergy. And when they do, you begin to come back to life. By week 3 or 4, a great many women describe a growing and palpable sense of steadiness within themselves. Their energy becomes more consistent and reliable throughout the entire day. Their moods begin to stabilize, and the persistent brain fog finally lifts. And most importantly of all, they start to feel like themselves again. Not the younger version of themselves, but a present and vibrant version. One who feels fully awake and engaged in her own life once more. One of my dear patients, a woman named Diane, described it so beautifully. She said, "It is not that I feel like I am 30 again. It is that I feel clear, like I have finally stepped out of a dense fog that I did not even know I was living in." That is precisely what happens when your body is not being pushed or forced into submission, but is instead being simply and lovingly supported. Now, I want to be perfectly clear with you. No two women will experience this journey in exactly the same way. Your personal timeline may be shorter, or it may be longer. It depends on a great many factors: your overall state of health, your current sleep patterns, your daily stress levels, and how consistently you are able to follow the routine. But what is most important of all is that you do not give up. Even if you do not feel something significant right away, please know that your body is diligently working behind the scenes, slowly and methodically rebuilding what stress, what time, and what imbalance have taken away from it. This journey is not about a quick and fleeting fix. It is about a quiet and profound restoration. And when you are able to truly and fully embrace that, you give your body the precious permission and the sacred space that it needs to heal itself. Let us also take a moment to understand why this powerful blend works, not just on an emotional and experiential level, but on a deep and fundamental biological one as well. Each of the three magnificent ingredients in this blend, Maca, ginger, and Ashwagandha, has a well-documented and scientifically validated role in providing support for the very systems that naturally and expectedly decline as we age. Maca provides foundational support for the hypothalamic, pituitary gonadal axis, which is the central command center for all of your hormonal communication. Ginger actively promotes vasodilation. That means that it helps to open up your blood vessels, thereby allowing a greater flow of oxygen and essential nutrients to reach your skin, your muscles, and your brain. And Ashwagandha provides crucial support for the hypothalamic, pituitary, adrenal axis, which is the system that governs your body's complex and multifaceted response to stress. Together, these three powerful and intelligent systems profoundly influence your mood, your sleep, your libido, your metabolism, and your overall energy levels. When they are being consistently and deeply nourished and are functioning well, you do not just feel better, your body actually becomes more efficient at protecting you from the inevitable wear and tear of the aging process. This is why the transformation that this blend can bring about is not just cosmetic, it is systemic, it is real, and it is measurable, not only in how you look, but in how you feel and in how you function in your daily life. But there is something else that I want to emphasize with all of my heart. This journey is not about desperately and futilely chasing after your youth. It is about deeply and completely honoring who you are right now. It is about stepping into a brand new phase of your life with a sense of clarity and of strength, instead of allowing it to be defined by a narrative of decline. You have earned the right to feel good in your own skin. You have earned the right to wake up in the morning with a sense of energy and of purpose. And you have most certainly earned the right to feel desire and joy, not as a luxury, but as an integral and essential part of your overall health. So, now that you have started to feel the changes, what is next? How do you protect this precious progress that you have made? How do you carry this beautiful and profound sense of restoration with you into all of the years that lie ahead? That is what we will explore next. The simple and powerful mindset and lifestyle shifts that can help you to keep building upon the strong and vibrant foundation that you have so lovingly created. Nurturing your progress, a lifelong commitment to self. If you have come this far in our conversation, you are already doing something incredibly powerful. You are actively choosing to care for yourself, not with fleeting and often disappointing fixes or with empty and unsubstantiated promises, but with a sense of quiet and unwavering consistency and with a deep and loving intention. That single and profound choice, in and of itself, can change everything. And as your energy begins to return, as your sleep continues to deepen, And as your confidence steadily rebuilds, the very next step on this beautiful journey is learning how to protect that precious progress and how to carry it with you into each and every new and unfolding chapter of your life. Let me be perfectly and unequivocally clear, you do not need to overhaul your entire and established routine. In fact, the most effective and sustainable strategies are often the very simplest ones. First and foremost, I encourage you to keep showing up for your body every single morning. That daily spoonful of your herbal blend is not just about the nutrients it contains. It is a sacred ritual, a quiet moment of stillness that serves as a powerful and affirming reminder to yourself, I matter. My health matters. My life is still beautifully and wonderfully unfolding. Next, I invite you to begin to consciously notice the subtle and not so subtle signals that your body sends to you each and every day. If your energy levels dip after you consume certain foods, if your mood noticeably shifts after a night of disrupted sleep, if your muscles feel tighter and more constricted on particularly stressful days, please listen to these messages. Your body is not trying to confuse you. It is communicating with you in the only language it knows. And now that your internal systems are beginning to rebalance themselves, your innate ability to tune in to these signals will become sharper and clearer. Please make rest a genuine and non-negotiable priority in your life. And I am not just talking about sleep, but about real and true rest. Periods of time when you are not doing, fixing, or helping others. Even just 10 minutes a day of quiet and deep breathing, of gentle and mindful stretching, or of simply sitting by a sunny window can send a powerful signal to your nervous system to unwind and to let go. This simple practice helps to extend and to amplify the wonderful work that the Ashwagandha is already doing behind the scenes, to calm your stress hormones and to support your emotional steadiness. You can also support your circulation beyond the powerful effects of the ginger. I encourage you to stay gently and joyfully active. A daily walk in nature, some light and restorative yoga, or some gentle swimming can all help to keep your blood flowing, to keep the oxygen reaching your brain, and to keep your joints feeling limber and mobile. This is not about performance or about hitting certain milestones. It is about engaging in a form of movement that feels genuinely good in your own unique body. As for your hormonal harmony, I want you to trust that the Maca is diligently doing its important work. But I also want you to know that your emotional connection to others also plays a significant and vital role. The simple act of laughter, of engaging in meaningful and heartfelt conversation, of gentle and loving touch, and even of small and playful flirtations can all serve to awaken the parts of you that may have felt dormant for a long time. Your brain's intricate reward systems absolutely thrive on connection, and intimacy, in all of its many and varied forms, is not only allowed, it is wholeheartedly encouraged. And here is a profound and beautiful truth that I want you to carry with you in your heart. This entire journey is not about fixing what is broken, because you were never, ever broken. Your body may have been overworked, it may have been undernourished, or it may have been completely and utterly overwhelmed. But it has always been trying its very best to protect you. Even your fatigue was a form of protection. Now, with the right kind of loving and consistent support, it is beginning to shift back into a state of vibrant and radiant vitality. I have seen this very process happen in women well into their 70s, their 80s, and even beyond. Women who truly and sincerely thought that their best days were far behind them, only to discover that joy, that sensuality, and that strength do not simply vanish with age. They evolve. And they return when we consciously and lovingly make space for them. One woman with whom I recently worked, a wonderful lady named Eleanor who was 76 years old, told me, Dr. Stones, I thought I was done feeling radiant. But the other day, I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror, and I smiled. Not because I looked younger, but because I looked like me again. That is the precious and beautiful gift that I want for each and every one of you. So, what is the ultimate takeaway from our conversation today? It begins with one simple spoonful, taken every single morning, of Maca, of ginger, and of Ashwagandha. I encourage you to stick with it. Allow the quiet and beautiful transformation to unfold at its own natural pace. Pay close and careful attention to your sleep, to your mood, and to your inner and outer glow. Provide loving support to your body with gentle and joyful movement and with precious moments of real and true rest. Stay deeply and authentically connected to yourself and to those who serve as a loving reminder of your own innate strength. And please, always remember, you are not running out of time. You are right on time. This next magnificent chapter of your life is yours and yours alone to write, with a sense of warmth, of clarity, of confidence, and with the deep and unwavering knowing that your body is still so magnificently capable of supporting the beautiful and meaningful life that you want to live. Thank you so much for spending this precious time with me. I am so deeply honored to be a part of your wellness journey. If this message has resonated with you on a deep and personal level, I invite you to please take a moment to reflect, to breathe, and to consider one small and loving action that you will take tomorrow morning to provide support for your own health. And if you would like to continue this important conversation, to receive more practical, compassionate, and science-grounded guidance, please subscribe to Elderare Wellness and join our growing and vibrant community of strong, wise women who are actively choosing to thrive. You deserve to feel at home in your own body again, and you absolutely can. Be well.